Welcome back to another episode of Light Beer, Dark Money. I'm Sean Noble.
I'm Chris Clements.
You've got the black mug.
I got the black mug. This is the first mugs that we made.
And
if anybody would like a mug, please email us.
Yeah, you can email us, and we can send you a mug.
We can send you a mug.
We
want to promote the show.
The cool thing about this little Yeti is it's slightly larger than a typical coffee cup.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
It's just a little bit more than a regular.
Yeah, we give these to all our guests or send them to our guests, and they've gone over pretty well.
Yeah. So
we don't have a Shopify account as yet. We're not that as big as like our friends at Ruthless, but maybe one of these days.
Maybe we should do that. The shutdown is coming to an end.
Reportedly so.
We're at 41 days. The House is scheduled to vote tomorrow on the deal that the Senate voted on, which was, I actually, this is crazy. I don't know all the details of what they voted on, but it was not just the clean CR. They actually did
they did some
approach stuff.
Yeah, there's some ag stuff in there. There's some defense stuff in there, and that kind of got people moving.
Yeah, it's a CR to the end of January, except for a few things that got the full fiscal year.
Yeah.
Like
SNAP,
we're military
not
funding,
military, FAA. We're not going to be dealing with that stuff leading up to the next budget talks.
Right.
Those will be extended over a year.
And then there is a promise to vote on some type of ACA reform.
Yeah, that will go down in flames because the Republicans are upset enough about how this has gone over this false pretense of ACA subsidies, which rightfully the president over the weekend, to send out a truth social, basically identifying where those ACA payments go.
Yeah.
They don't go to you. They don't go to me. They go right to the
insurance company's bottom line.
Yep.
And on that front, let's do this Bernie Sanders clip. Let's start with that, just because I think that's a good place to start.
I think I know where you're going. And please like and subscribe.
Yes, do that.
Senator from Vermont.
I understand that the way the process has been developed, it is impossible to delay the votes that are going to take place. And if that were not the case, that is certainly what I would do, because I think it is important that the American people fully understand what is being voted on today. Everybody in America knows that our current healthcare system is broken.
Okay, let's pause it there for a second. You're right. Bernie, you're right. It's broken. And guess why? Because you broke it.
Yes.
The Democrats broke it. In particular, Bernie Sanders broke it. He broke it because when they put Obamacare through in 2010, they passed a bill that was in draft form on reconciliation. They cheated.
Yeah.
To pass this bill.
Yeah, a lot of people don't remember this. I mean, the ACA is what it is because of the Democrats, not because of the Republicans.
And the subsidy, I mean, it goes all the way back to the deal that Bernie Sanders made with Ben Nelson, who was a senator from Nebraska.
Oh, yeah.
Who said, I'm not going to vote for this because
Cornhusker kickback.
This takes away from, my constituents. And they did the Cornhusker kickback. They said, oh, well, we won't take your money away. We'll give it back to just Nebraska.
Yeah.
And then everyone else was like, wait a minute. So a few years later, they gave it to everybody.
Yeah.
And then they put a expiration date.
Yeah.
Remember, this is the Democrats when they were in complete control, did all these things. They subsidized the ACA because they knew it was too expensive.
Yeah.
They broke it. It was too expensive. Oh no, we got to subsidize it, but we're going to put an end date on it because, we can't afford to subsidize it forever. Guess when the end date was? This year.
Yeah.
Guess who's in charge? They are not. And it's all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's the Republicans' fault.
Well, and then they added additional supplement to that during the
COVID.
COVID.
Right.
So it went from 80% subsidy to the 80% of the poverty level?
Every 80% to 120%.
To 120%.
Or maybe 140%.
Whatever it is.
In some cases.
And it's unbelievable.
Yeah,
They're trying to push this back on the Republicans. The Republicans had nothing to do with
If it were up to Republicans, it would be healthcare freedom. And the president tweeted about it. He said we shouldn't be giving money to these subsidies. We should be giving it directly to taxpayers to allow them to shop with their feet.
Yeah. Ted Cruz in his Verdict podcast, as of yesterday's, even brought up a better idea. Like, let's make sure we have universal HSAs.
Yes.
That you don't have to be part of a company or a plan that has an HSA plan. It can be for everyone.
Right.
And then you can take that money, use it however you want in terms of your healthcare expenses, use it to pay premiums, use it to pay expenses. Everyone has an HSA account. Well, universal HSA, and we'll take that money and put it into everyone's HSAs.
Right. The thing that many people don't realize that, because there is so much of health insurance is tied to employment.
Yes.
Right. That's only because of World War II. Because
this is a good history lesson.
Congress put in price controls, wage controls, and so the only way that employers were able to compete to keep their employees were to offer things.
Health insurance.
And so they offered health insurance, and then over the years it just became the standard. There's no reason that health insurance has to be tied to employment. In fact, it shouldn't be. As you point out, it should be an individual HSA account that provides what's called portability.
Yes.
You can use it no matter where you are, whether you're working or not.
That is true even if you establish an HSA account within your employer coverage, you can still take that.
Yes.
It's still portable.
But you don't get as much because of the employment
because you don't get the match.
Right.
Most employers have some sort of match to whatever you put into your HSA.
We have to decouple employment and health insurance coverage. And
that's not to mean we need universal government insurance, because then you have less choice and higher costs.
Yeah, that's not government. That's Medicare for all.
Yeah, that's Medicare for all, or ask
work.
anyone who's dealing with health insurance in Great Britain or Canada, for that matter.
Yeah,
they're all coming down here to get their procedures.
Yeah. So this is the Democrats' problem. They created this problem. And so all the stuff Bernie Sanders talks about,
this being most expensive.
Yeah, it is.
They're going away.
It is. It is because you guys created the system.
They're not going away. The increase that was enacted by the Democrats in 2022 will go away.
Right.
The subsidies are still going to be in there.
Yeah.
But not for people making 400% of the poverty level,
right, which
is the other metric that I've seen. It's absolutely insane. Oh, and let's not be coy about Senator Sanders and Elizabeth Warren and so many other Democrats in terms of where they get their money, where they get their campaign funds. A vast majority is from the health insurance company.
These guys, look.
And from Big Pharma.
All you have to do is look at where health insurance companies' stock prices are now.
Oh, my gosh.
Compared to before ACA, before Obamacare.
The metric I heard about Aetna, they were at $35 before ACA.
Yeah.
$35. They're at like $250 now.
Yeah. Look, United Healthcare is up 1,100%.
Oh, yeah.
1,100% in 15 years.
And premiums are going up between 17 and 50%.
That means that they've grown at nearly 100% per year since the passage of Obamacare.
Yeah.
That's not a giveaway to health insurance companies? Give me a break. It's absurd.
Yeah,
absolutely
completely
absurd. All right. So
and then all the lies about
Bernie.
Obamacare anyway.
Right.
If you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor.
Let's go to
biggest lie ever.
Let's go to the 8 Democrat members who break with the party.
Ellen Rivera live from Washington with the latest on when we can expect this shutdown to officially end. Maddie, good morning.
Good morning, Todd. Well, the vote the Senate took overnight is the first step in a series of procedural maneuvers. And of course, the House will have to vote on the package, too. So it will take a few more days before the government reopens. But Sunday's vote was the first clear sign that a bipartisan deal had been reached after a roughly 40-day stalemate. The Senate voted 60-40 to back a revamped GOP funding bill that would keep the government open until the end of January. 8 Democrats joined Republicans to pass the bill, including Senate Minority Whip Dick Durbin.
So Fetterman and Rosen and Cortez Mastro had been the 3 Democrats who had been voting with the Republicans. all along.
Was Angus King in there too?
Well, he was
in and
this
out.
time.
Okay.
This
I
time.
thought he was in and out. So
No,
so Dick Durbin decided to
He's
he's
leaving.
leaving.
Yeah, he's leaving.
Tim Kaine is afraid of his reelect.
Well, no, Tim Kaine's not up for reelection.
But he's going to be
Yeah,
the next cycle.
one of the things is that someone pointed out is a number of these folks are former governors.
Oh, that's interesting.
Kane, Shaheen, maybe Hassan? No.
No.
I think the New Hampshire folks were just going together, as was Nevada. But the reason you had 8 Democrats, you needed 8 instead of 7, was because Rand Paul
Yeah, Rand Paul's going
has
to
been
vote
a no.
against it.
He's been a
no
no
matter
on
what.
all this, and I don't quite understand that.
Well, he's just the way he looks at it is just we're just continuing to spend more money until we deal with our debt crisis. I'm not going to vote for this. He's been pretty consistent.
Yeah.
Overall. But what's
I
really
guess he
interesting,
and
anyone
Thomas
who
Massey.
anyone who characterizes this as other than Chuck Schumer went to every single one of these Democrats and said, "I'm going to rely on you to jump the shark."
Okay, so you are of the opinion that Schumer was behind. So
course he was.
There's 2 opinions on this.
Yeah.
It's either Schumer has no control over his caucus,
That's
or
that's a bunch
he
of
was
BS.
behind the scenes making this happen.
My thinking and my understanding from listening and reading some different various publications. So there are more Democrats who wanted to end the shutdown. More than 8. I would say double that.
I'm sure.
And he was losing more than he was reckoning for because of what is happening with transportation and SNAP and everything else. And these 8 and more felt that the longer it went on, the more power it was giving Donald Trump to do what he wanted to do, which is true.
Yeah.
And so he went to them and cut this deal. And and if you see, he has not forbidden them from voting. Or anybody else. He said, "I will vote against this deal."
Yeah.
And that's a tell.
Well,
In politics, that's a tell.
okay. So the left is going bananas.
Well, the left is going to go bananas.
They're going bananas.
But it's
They
all
are
performative.
calling on him to be replaced as the leader of the Democrats in the Senate.
Well,
Um,
they called on Mitch McConnell, the right did for a long time, for him to be replaced. And we saw how well that went. It was only until Mitch's health was failing that became a reality for Mitch.
do you think that's going to be the same with Schumer?
I don't. I think there's enough people in that caucus who, other than the Bernie Sanders and some of the more radicals, who are they going to get? And I think he has more control than people give him credit for.
Okay.
Now they will say, well, look at Mamdani and look at what happened in Virginia and look what happened in New Jersey. Okay.
I don't know. I don't think that really had anything to do with the shutdown. But
Well, I
in
mean,
my
there are
opinion.
people who are arguing that I was listening to Victor Davis Hanson earlier. That's precisely what the whole strategy with the shutdown was, to get federal workers and Democrats motivated to vote. And now that that's been resolved and they've won, then they can move on to the next fight.
So it was keep the government closed until the election as a motivation for the base.
Yes.
And then once we won, open it up.
The jig's up. We don't
Whereas
need to be doing
the
this
left,
anymore.
the hard left was like, hey, we won. Let's keep going.
Let's keep going.
Let's keep it shut down.
Exactly. Which from a practical standpoint, the people who've been in government long enough and understand how things work, that's a bad idea.
Well, I mean, you look at what's going on.
They're going to end up paying for that.
I mean, the SNAP, the FAA stuff, the
we
flight
were delayed.
cancellations.
So I went hunting with my son over the weekend, and our flight. We had a direct flight from Little Rock here yesterday that was supposed to leave at 8:00. First flight. We were delayed 3 hours.
3 hours. Yeah.
And it's because of what was happening here, not so much Little Rock. There was a plane there, but there was a slowdown here at Sky Harbor.
Sky Harbor is one of the bigger airports that's being impacted.
And when we arrived at Sky Harbor, it was a zoo. I mean, people were lined up at the American customer service desk.
I'm sure.
And
they had
lined up for lunch and lined up for everything else.
I mean, yesterday, I think there were 40 or 50 flight cancellations and another 40 or 50 delays.
Yeah.
So that's not nothing.
So It was affecting people, affecting business, affecting commerce.
Yep.
And those people are sitting there in line, at the customer service line, calling their senator.
Yeah, right.
You know who it didn't affect? Obviously, it didn't affect our fair senators that are against pretty much anything.
Well,
and where is Mark Kelly?
And
El Jefe.
I thought that Mark Kelly was one that was going to be a part of the deal.
Yeah,
but,
I thought so too.
He is not.
Yeah, that could be not a good thing for him down the line.
We'll see how this plays out. All right. So we've got the shutdown. So the House is supposed to vote as early as 4:00 tomorrow afternoon. It's Tuesday today, so it's Wednesday, which I presume means the president will sign it either Wednesday night or Thursday.
Yeah.
And things will be back rolling by the weekend.
Well, before the
Presumably.
holidays, which is
yeah. Well,
that would have been a disaster
coming into
because
Thanksgiving.
you were looking at thousands of cancellations because of the just the vast amount of people traveling.
The question is, so we've heard that a bunch of air traffic controllers have quit. Do they come back?
I think they do.
That could be a problem.
It could be.
Could be a problem. I don't know if this is completely solved yet.
Well, there's bigger issues besides the air traffic controllers as well. I mean, we have a technology issue with the FAA. We have a lot of issues that need to be fixed within our transportation system.
Yeah.
Not just the controllers.
Right.
You had a lot of TSA folks calling in sick. I made it a point to every TSA agent I saw to say thank you. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Because that's a pretty thankless job, however you...
It's always a thankless job, but it's got to be more thankless than ever right now.
Yeah.
Because people are unhappy.
Well, I mean, I saw a video of some woman in Orlando, like going totally apeshit, excuse my French, on a Southwest person behind the counter, taking her bag and hitting the terminal.
Oh my gosh.
Like just going crazy because her flight had been delayed 3 times or whatever. I'm like, okay, that is the most narcissistic thing you could ever do.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not special. And that's really important to remember when these situations are happening. Like, you're not special. It's not about you.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, the delays kept piling up, and I'm with my son. He's like, well, what do you think? I go, we have a direct flight, and eventually that flight will take off.
Right.
Today.
Yeah. I mean, good. It's good that you had a direct flight.
And we're grateful that we have a direct flight because we were going to Dallas. We might not make it home until tomorrow.
In Dallas.
Yeah.
Yep. So something that I'll bet most of our listeners don't know is that this last week was Anti-Communism Week.
No, they would not know that.
Because we didn't know that. I want to read from a proclamation the White House put out about Anti-Communism Week. This week, our nation observes Anti-Communism Week, a solemn remembrance of the devastation caused by one of history's most destructive ideologies. Across continents and generations, communism has wrought devastation upon nations and souls. More than 100 million lives have been taken by regimes that sought to erase faith, suppress freedom, and destroy prosperity earned through the hard work, violating the God-given rights and dignity of those they oppressed. As we honor their memory, we renew our national promise to stand firm against communism, to uphold the cause of liberty and human worth, and to affirm once more that no system of government can ever replace the will and conscience of a free people. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
That's great.
The key phrase in that, the God-given rights.
Yes. Yes.
Great phrase. Glad they included that.
Yeah. So
we are endowed by our Creator.
With applause, round of applause for Mr. Donald J. Trump.
Well, I mean, it sure is an interesting contrast to the last godless administration.
Yeah.
That we still don't know who was running it.
Some auto pen.
Some auto pen.
Yeah, I mean, so
President Auto Pen.
I appreciate that we have an anti-communism week 2025. Apparently this has been going on, but we've talked about, it hasn't been.
Well, maybe they should send that proclamation to Comrade Mamdani.
Not a bad idea.
Who is already facing some uphill battles.
Yeah.
Kathy Hochul Governor of New York over the weekend put a big kibosh on his free bus ride idea.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
How did she do that?
Well, she did that because so much of that money gets delineated to the state.
Oh.
And the state has a lot of control over the finances of New York City.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
so she's like, maybe we can talk about quote unquote affordability, but at the end of the day, I only have about 15 billion of wiggle room, and I'm not going to use that to
We're not doing free buses.
create free buses. And which are essentially, as our friends in Tucson, Arizona know all too well, because they've tried this experiment, are just homeless shelters on wheels.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
know,
that's right. The
refrigerator homeless shelters on wheels. That's all they are, and they get to go all around the city and show up in areas that they're not welcome.
So homeless people park themselves on the bus and just
all
drive around
day
the city
long,
all day long.
all day long. Well, that's true for a lot of public transportation in general. When you have low prices, and people can go places they would never be able to get to, otherwise.
Yeah.
I made this argument. So my mother-in-law is from Reston, Virginia. They have eventually brought the metro out there.
Right.
Well, guess
The
what
Silver
happened?
Line.
The Silver Line. Guess what happened after the metro came? Homeless people
Yep.
everywhere.
Hopped on the Silver Line, go to the end of the line, and we got a new
All of a
place
sudden,
to be.
you got little tents showing up at Target, showing up everywhere. And she's like, "What is going on? I don't. We never had this problem here before." I go, "Here, let me show you. See that thing over there on the stilts? That's your problem.
That's the problem.
Because it's very cheap to ride the metro, and people who are homeless or drug addicts or wherever else are going to go where they think they can get the most support, the most money,
as it happens,
and the most, nobody gives them a hard time.
And just as it happens in New York, you have people who jump the turnstile in DC all the time.
DC is always happening.
So
go out to Reston.
I mean,
go
here
out
in
to
Arizona,
the Dulles Airport.
There's not even a turnstile.
Now you can go out to Leesburg.
Yeah, that's right.
Tent city right there in Leesburg.
Yep.
So it's a major problem, and it's good for her for clamping down on that entire idea. There's going to be a lot. I think there's going to be a lot of ideas that he's had that are not going to, have come to fruition.
Yeah.
Because it takes a real socialist to, after they get elected, to say, please send me more money so we can fund our transition. Right. Real socialist.
Yeah.
You know how I told you, this is actually a real quote. He goes online or goes on YouTube, whatever, and goes, you know how I told you to stop sending us money? Well, now we need
your money
because we have to fund this transition on our own.
Please send us money.
Capitalism at its finest.
Yeah, yeah.
Your hard-earned dollars.
So, obviously today, November 11th, Veterans Day. It's an important day.
It is a very important day.
Hats off to all of our veterans.
It is also my mother's birthday.
Oh, wow.
85 years old.
85.
She doesn't look a day
happy
over.
Birthday.
I'm not going to say it, but
happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
That's
Jenny.
fantastic.
Happy birthday, Mom.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she's still cranking.
Yeah, that's great.
We
do have a video you wanted to show of Pat.
So this is one of the great speeches in movie history.
Are we doing the whole thing?
I don't know if we'll do the whole thing, but we'll do a snippet.
Yeah,
we'll do a snippet. This is George C. Scott.
So go watch Patton, the movie from 1970, if you want to see the whole speech. But we'll give you a little snippet here.
Yeah, in honor of our great veterans.
Yes.
And truer words were never spoken.
That's right.
You seated? I want you to remember that no bastard ever won a war by dying for his country. He won it by making the other poor dumb bastard die for his country. Men, all this stuff you've heard about America not wanting to fight, wanting to stay out of the war, is a lot of horse dung. Americans traditionally love to fight. All real Americans love the sting of battle. When you were kids, you all admired the champion marble shooter, the fastest runner, big league ball players, the toughest boxers. Americans love a winner and will not tolerate a loser. Americans play to win all the time. I wouldn't give a hoot in hell for a man who lost and laughed. That's why Americans have never lost and will never lose a war. Because the very thought of losing is hateful to Americans. Now, an army is a team. It lives, eats, sleeps, fights as a team. This individuality stuff is a bunch of crap. The bilious bastards who wrote that stuff about individuality for the Saturday Evening Post don't know anything more about real battle than they do about fornicating. Now, we have the finest food and equipment, the best spirit, and the best men in the world. You know, by God, I actually pity those poor bastards we're going up against. By God, I do. We're not just going to shoot the bastards. We're going to cut out their living guts and use them to grease the treads of our tanks. We're going to murder those lousy Hun bastards by the bushel. Now, some of you boys, I know, are wondering whether or not you'll chicken out under fire. Don't worry about it. I can assure you that you will all do your duty. The Nazis are the enemy. Wade into them. Spill their blood. Shoot them in the belly. When you put your hand into a bunch of goo that a moment before was your best friend's face, you'll know what to do. Now, there's another thing I want you to remember. I don't want to get any messages saying that we are holding our position. We're not holding anything. Let the Hun do that. We are advancing constantly, and we're not interested in holding on to anything except the enemy. We're going to hold on to him by the nose, and we're going to kick him in the ass. We're going to kick the hell out of him all the time, and we're going to go through him like crap through a goose. Now, there's one thing that you men will be able to say when you get back home, and you may thank God for it. 30 years from now, when you're sitting around your fireside with your grandson on your knee, and he asks you, what did you do in the Great World War II? You won't have to say, well, I shoveled shit in Louisiana. All right, now you sons of bitches, you know how I feel.
All right.
Great speech.
So what's so interesting, the reason I wanted to play that was so interesting was it was obviously released in 1970 during the peak of the Vietnam War,
yeah.
a war that we went on to lose and surrender, and we've lost other wars since. But what the sentiment that Americans hate to lose is still true.
Absolutely.
Today. They hate looking at people who are whiny, men. It's why Donald Trump again is the president.
Yep.
Because we got to see what losing looks like with the last presidency. We got to see somebody who was weak. We got to see somebody who was indecisive, who obviously wasn't there mentally. And Americans hate that.
Yeah.
So much so they're willing to go back to a person who they might not even like, but they know the trains are going to run on time.
Right.
And things will eventually be better. And that's a testament to what Americans really are all about. And it befuddles the rest of the world. But the rest of the world now knows where America stands.
That's right.
Regardless of whether you like Donald Trump or not, they know where we stand on issues.
Yep.
And it's in that type of spirit that was embodied by that speech by George C. Scott and Patton.
Yeah. So happy Veterans Day.
Happy Veterans
And
Day.
thank you to all
of
of
our
our
amazing veterans. God bless
Everyone.
you all, men and women of the fighting, the greatest fighting force ever assembled.
Yeah.
On the
Throughout
face
history.
of the planet.
We appreciate you. We love you. God bless you.
Yeah.
And thanks for listening.
And thanks for listening. Remember, this is a podcast about these eternal values: faith, freedom, and free enterprise.
That's right.
Which George Patton fought to defend.
That's correct.
God bless
Thanks,
you all.
everybody.
Bye.
Take care.